G'day and welcome to the ReDriven Best Cars of the Year 2022 edition. Jim, how are you?
I'm good. Adam, how are you?
I'm bloody well. You may or may not have seen our Worst Cars of the Year video. If not, the link's up there somewhere, or also Sam's going to put it in the description. Again, this is kind of our Christmas drinks. Yeah. This is kind of our end of year celebration.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Some
cheers,
refreshing
everyone. Water. Delicious. It almost tastes like it could be from the guys at Earp Brothers. May have made that water.
Thanks for that delicious water.
Thanks Earp Brothers for your water. Not saying there's a distillery there by any means, but just saying.
It's just they distill the water.
They distill the water. Yeah. That's how it works. Okay. Let's get into this. So, opposite to what we did last week. Last week, or was the other video, was the biggest disappointment. Biggest surprise of the year.
All right,
Jim.
My biggest surprise of the year is a bit of an anti-surprise. Okay. Does that make sense? My biggest surprise of the year was the Subaru Forester. Because they're still shit. They're still terrible. They've had all this time to fix the problems and... Surprise!
I feel like the guys at Mighty Car Mods need to talk to Subaru management or the board at Subaru, because what they're doing to a Lavorg is fantastic.
Look what they had to do to the Lavorg to make it good.
This is true.
Like, seriously, they're still shit.
Yeah.
And I'm genuinely surprised because people deserve better.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry to put a negative spin on the surprise.
It's supposed to be the positive.
I know, but it's like I was surprised that they're still that bad.
Give us your positive one. What was a big surprise in a positive way?
Oh, God. The Kia Stinger, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I to be honest, I didn't know that much about them.
Yep.
The basics, of course, but the more I researched, the more I learned, and when we had it, it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And I see them everywhere now.
Yeah, it's funny that. Yeah. My biggest surprise, I have a bit of a. There's two that I've been tossing up between. I'm going in a Kia as well. It's the Kia Proceed GT.
Wow. They did not pay us to say.
No, why?
Nor Subaru didn't pay me to say that.
Exactly. Why more people don't talk about and know about the Kia Proceed GT is beyond me. Please, if you criticise me going, I can't believe Kia, they're crap, please go and drive one. Just beg to borrow one, because that is a cracking good car. Yeah. I've owned a Fiesta ST and a bunch of fast Renaults and a whole bunch of hot hatches. And it's not, as I said in the video, it's nowhere near as hardcore as a lot of those, but as far as the perfect balance between sporty enough to be heaps of fun and engaging to drive, yet comfortable and practical enough to live with on a daily basis,
I think more people would buy them, but I don't think it's on anyone's radar. They don't stand out. They're not really, the hot hatch guys aren't really into them, but they should be. They're immense potential, I think.
It's one of the cars that this year that I keep looking back at and going, oh man, I missed that car. The other one that was the surprise for me, and this is a bit of a late addition, was the Ram 1500. Yeah. I'm not a masculine guy. No. I'm into hair and nice drinks and fancy watches and blue cheese and jazz and cycling.
I'm right there with you. In a city context, those cars are ridiculous. No. But in towing and on open roads, they do actually make sense. Yeah. And the room inside and that particular one, the Hemi, sound great.
Man,
all the V8, all the V8 theatre, and it's just
when going through the research. So again, kind of went in. We do our best to not let our preconceived opinions impact the review, obviously. But sometimes you can't help it. And I just see those Rams and go, "Oh, that guy must."
Well, it's a cultural thing.
100%. Yeah. I don't get the Ram 1500. But then you're doing the research and you're like, oh, this actually makes sense. This is good. This is good. Then driving it again, mate of mine's car. Thank you so much, Glenn, for lending us the Ram. Bloody hell, it's such a good thing. I feel dirty even saying it, but it was that's my
just
surprise
embrace
of the
it
year.
because
Exactly.
If you had a farm,
yep,
or towed a big race trailer or a horse float.
If I was a real man, I'd own a Ram 1500.
No, you mean if you had somewhere to park it?
If I was a real man and
with
a farm and had a parking space large enough to put an Olympic-sized swimming pool, I would own a Ram 1500. Yeah. Most fun car of the year, Jim.
It doesn't really. It was Alex's Evo. The heavily modified.
Bonkers.
All the horsepower, all the
Evo.
sequential gearbox, like a stupid car. Amazing, and thanks Alex for that experience. But you couldn't live with it. It's a bit like a Ram.
It
You
is,
can't
yeah,
live with
yeah,
it
yeah.
in town anyway.
No.
But great for every type of motorsport, and that was just the driving a car that fast just leaves you. It changes you.
Yeah.
It gives you feelings.
Yeah. Like, I think, as I said in the video, I've been so fortunate to drive a bunch of quick stuff. McLaren 720S, GT2 RS, Porsche, all that kind of stuff. Alex's Evo.
It's just brutal.
That was just such an assault on the senses. It is so fast,
Yeah.
like and terrifying. Like I remember the first time, because I gave it kind of the full beans, but it's not my car, so I'm not going to give it the full bit. And then Alex took me for a drive, and I'm a different person before and after that. Like couldn't focus, like just my eyes blurring and just going, what's going on? This is so much information.
And that particular car,
Yeah.
the way it's been built, it is actually super reliable.
The guy, is it Precision?
No, what's his name?
The guy's
Benchmark. Yeah.
You guys are amazing. That is, yeah, you're right. It's such an impressive car. Again, like Alex gave it to me for a little while. I lived with that car, and you can. Like I did the groceries in it, and I did, drove around in it. And for a car to be that violently fast and still livable, and it's still working. Like Alex hasn't had any dramas with it. So everyone involved in that build, bloody hell. But my most fun car of the year was the BMW 5 Series, but specifically because it's an ex-highway patrol car and still looks like an unmarked highway patrol car. So after that shoot, I had the car for like an hour and a half to myself, and I'm like, what do you do in an unmarked highway patrol
You
car?
freak people out.
P-platers.
Yeah.
P-platers and modified utes. So
Raptor drivers.
yeah, there's this great story. I won't say the road, but it was like a decent road. I'm just humming along, cruising along, and this idiot P-plater in a crap lowered V6 Commodore ute comes flying out of this intersection straight in, and like, do I do this? Yeah, let's do this. And just hammered up behind him, and just sailing behind him, and I just saw his eyes in the rearview mirror, and just on the brakes. I'm like, this is so much fun. And then, I shouldn't be telling everybody this water has an effect.
I know.
I went and parked as another section of like freeway, and I just went and parked next to the side of the road.
I watch all the brake lights come on.
See the fronts of cars dipping down.
Oh, I love it.
I honestly didn't need to speed, did not need to drive fast. It was a really, really enjoyable car to drive. It's a 5 Series BMW.
How did that make you feel, like scaring people?
So
like that?
powerful,
Yeah.
so powerful. That was one of the most incredibly unique driving experiences I've ever had. It's up there with a really good track day. Everyone should be allowed to drive an unmarked.
Pretend to be a cop for a day.
Pretend to be an unmarked police car for a day.
Of course, you would never impersonate a police.
Oh, I'd never do that.
It's highly illegal.
There were no lights or no flashing lights. So I just happened to pull in behind cars with P plates that were doing dumb things.
Yeah, their perception, not your behaviour.
It was a public service. Okay, the car. All right, the car that we get it. We understand now. Like we're talking about the cars that we may previously have gone, I don't understand why anyone buys these, and then after having one, we've gone, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Jim?
It's the Ram.
Yeah.
It's the Ram. It's the Ram that I didn't get it before, and I'm sorry. But after sort of researching it and having a bit of involvement with it, it's like, actually, this thing's bloody good.
Yeah. Mine's very closely related. It's the Ranger Raptor. Yeah, I know your opinion on the Ranger Raptor. Again, my mate that bought it, I was really surprised that he bought it in the first place. He has some really cool old school Mercedes, and then he messaged me going, "Hey, I've got a Raptor." I'm like, "It's not like VJ. This is interesting." And then he picked it up, and within 10 or 15 minutes, I'm like, "Damn it, I love this! I love this."
They are great to drive, but again, there's things that exist that are very similar to it that are 20 grand cheaper.
Yeah.
The price of a Raptor compared to a Ram.
Well, it depends.
Top end Raptor, bottom end Ram. Like that's
pretty close. They're they are pretty bloody close.
Even if they're only 10, 15, or even 20% within the price range of each other, you would have to think about it.
I know. Just
if you had someone to park it.
If you had someone to park it. If the Ram was just smaller, then
it'd be a Raptor.
Yeah, and we said this in the other video. I'm spoiling it again. We both love to have a go in the new Ranger Raptor. Ford press department, please.
Well, it is a bit it's like every bit Raptor plus a bit of Ram. It's petrol V6, but
it must be
more power.
Yeah, I'd love to have a go.
That would be cool.
So good. The car that we would most recommend.
Yeah, honestly, I went through it all, and I often get asked to recommend cars all the time. And I think another car that flies under the radar, and it fits in the category of what a lot of people are looking for that ask me, it's the bloody Suzuki Swift.
Awesome. Swift Sport.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a lot of car for not a lot of money, and I think it's just a little bit better than sort of, say, the Yaris for a similar price, and
Not that Yaris.
Not that Yaris.
That's a whole different Yaris.
Not that Yaris. No. But yeah, good little car, and I would and I do recommend it to people.
Yeah.
You know, when they say should I buy a Polo, I say no, you should buy a Swift Sport.
Side note: I nearly bought a Swift Sport a little while ago, and this is a bit of a plug to go and watch our Ultimate Used Car Buyer's Guide video. The link is up there somewhere. Because even in this job, looked at it from the outside, looked amazing, checked out, everything was good, and I nearly bought it on the spot because it was really cheap. And I'm like, nah, I'll bring it in the gym, just have a quick look. And we got up on the hoist, and underneath,
it was mangled.
It had a big impact. The external outside repair work was done quite well, but underneath,
bent. It
was not a good thing. So you make sure, whatever car you're buying, make sure you have a pre-purchase inspection done, because can get caught out.
Yeah.
The car that I would most recommend, Stinger GT. I just think it just does pretty much everything you need a car to do. It's super practical. It's bloody lovely inside. It's properly quick. The first ones were interesting to drive rear end wise, but that can be kind of sorted out. They're tunable.
Cheaper than a BMW.
Cheaper than BMW, but they hold their value incredibly well. Most of the good ones are more expensive than what they are new.
More reliable than an equivalent BMW.
Exactly. They've got an incredibly, a great support network of fans and owners groups. That Stinger GT owners group, well, Vince that lent us the car, he's an absolute legend. Love Vince, but all the owners that reached out to us that are still keeping in contact with, great owners group. Just such a good, all-round, good car.
Yeah. In the later models, they sort of dialed down the styling a bit, and they just looked better, I think, as well. The early ones were a bit...
I love the new, well, not new now, but the rear light treatment on the facelifted model. I love that. But yeah, Stinger GT. I had one. I had the press car back in the day for a good couple of weeks, and even then was like, this is bloody good. It copped a bit of flack, but I don't know. It's just, I think, the good car. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Stigma.
Yes.
That's why. Yeah, I'm sure that's why they didn't sell 10 times more, because it's a Kia.
Well, and I think that's the thing. Like, the demographic that have the money to buy that sort of car are still hung up on that stupid thought that Hyundai and Stinger are inferior cars, and they're clearly not. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
All right.
Finally, our personal car of the year.
Interesting how we agreed on the worst car of the year, and we also agree on the best car of the year.
Yep.
It's the
Actually,
one and only, drum roll.
This is actually a spoiler alert, because this video is going to come out before the video comes out.
Yeah.
The video is a New Year's Eve special, because it's the best car I possibly have ever driven.
And it's not on a lot of people's radar, to be honest. I'm fairly new to it. I think I learnt about it maybe, only a couple of years ago, to be honest. What the hell is that? And I sort of knew about it, and then we reviewed one, and then I was just in love with it.
And I suspect this thing's going to be really, really good, because I've read stuff on it. I've always had a bit of a love for it, but then experiencing it, it's not like anything I've ever driven. Do we tell them what it is?
Can you guess?
It's Toyota Century.
I know, right?
What a car.
V12, luxury, Toyota reliability.
It's a land yacht.
The quietest car.
Oh my God.
Honestly, the quietest car.
It's so good.
At around town speeds. I didn't drive it on the open road, but it is like... it's like a breeze.
You'd think it's electric.
Yeah.
If someone was like, oh, this is an EV, you'd be like, of course it is. Because it's unbelievably, unfathomably smooth.
And velvety smooth. No engine noise, no engine vibration.
Nothing.
V12. Unbelievable.
Build quality like I've never seen.
Immensely slow.
No, I don't think it's that. I gave it the beans once. We had to for the performance testing. And it's weird, because I'm like, oh, well, this isn't very fast. But then you look down and you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, okay.
I am actually...
You can't feel the speed.
You can't feel the speed, because it just wafts you forward. I think we've got it in the video. I hope Sam puts it in the edit. where the so hard to explain, where the I suppose the B pillar of the door is, so where the top door section goes down to the vertical section, it's first of all brushed aluminium that's then buttered together at a 45-degree angle.
Beautiful.
The tolerance between those two panels is less than a millimetre. Like it is like a hairline join, and it is accurate across anywhere that there's two pieces of metal matching up. It is just unbelievable quality.
And now, what year model was that one?
It was a 99.
Yeah. And the build quality was just flawless. Like the panel gaps.
Yeah.
It just
Now and this
Great
is
car.
nothing against Rolls-Royce. I've got a great relationship with Rolls-Royce, and Chris, especially at Rolls-Royce in Melbourne, great mate of mine. Beautiful cars, not taking anything away from the Phantom of the Ghost or any of the Cullinan, any of that stuff. But this thing...
They're pretty good for BMWs.
They are good for BMWs. This Century is, honestly, in its own unique way, easily as good as even a Phantom. Like, it's unbelievable. And the fact that they cost what they cost, you got to watch the video to find out what they cost. I just, like, there are small optional extras in a Rolls Royce that will cost you more than an entire Toyota Century.
The only drawback, though, for some, I would say, would be the kind of mafia-esque.
I think it's a positive.
Like,
It's like you're a Yakuza
for some,
boss.
it's like I said, exactly.
You're
For
a
some,
Yakuza boss.
It definitely has a look.
You know what it is? This is why it's so cool. The problem over the Chrysler 300C is that it's for wannabe rappers and wannabe gangsters, right? We're never going to get lent one now.
You don't want one.
No.
Oh, maybe I don't.
It's for people that, they think they're... This is so bad to say, but it's for people that think they're tough. It looks, kind of like gangster. It doesn't. It's just a crappy Chrysler.
And typically not car people.
No, but then the fact that you look like a Yakuza boss, like, that's cool. Like, you're not fighting with guns, you're fighting with samurai swords, cutting people's fingers off. Like, that's, I still can't get over it.
Everybody looks, and nobody knows.
No, and you get thumbs up. I got thumbs up, and people are like, what is this? Yeah. Also, the guy that lent it to us might be the nicest guy in the world. Brent,
Thanks for that.
What an absolute gentleman.
Yeah.
And honestly, so honoured to drive that Toyota Century. One day when YouTube...
There's not many around. There's not in Australia. I don't know.
Well, there's more Rolls-Royce Ghosts for sale than there are Centuries. I think when we shot the video, there were 13 for sale, and someone should buy all of them. Yeah. The minute, hopefully ReDriven gets bigger and better and we become famous YouTubers, the Century is so high on my list.
Yeah. ReDriven staff car.
ReDriven staff car with the samurai swords in the back. Wow. Yeah. So our car of the year, our personal car of the year, Toyota Century, by a
great car.
Country mile. It was so good. Anyway, guys, look, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support through the year. We couldn't do this without you. If you've got any thoughts or comments or questions, throw them in the comments below or message us on Instagram.
Yep.
Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, all that sort of stuff.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next year. Next year's going to be a cracker. We've got some very exciting things happening for 2023.
Some cool stuff coming.
Yeah, a lot of work ahead, but it's going to be heaps of fun. So thank you, guys. See you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.